Welcome, friends and fellow gamers. It's SigTrent, captain of SigTrent Games, with Chronicle number 5, here for May 2026. And we're going to bring you all the exciting news in SigTrent Games and talk a little bit about what I've been doing in gaming land and all that kind of good gaming stuff. So let's start with what's going on at SigTrent Games. It's been a very busy, like two and a half weeks. I don't know exactly how long it's been since the last Chronicle, since I'm doing them kind of catch as catch can. But we got a lot going on, so there's quite a bit to talk about. First of all, Night Magics. That is going to be published under SigTrent Games. So reached out over to LPJ, and they seem pretty busy with the comic stuff. So I'm going to do it under my own banner. And I was just thinking about, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, I need to do a cover. And I was looking around on LinkedIn, and an artist that I happen to be following, since I started SigTrent Games, I follow a lot of artists, said he was looking for work, and he has a style that was really perfect for Night Magics, kind of cool, I don't know, gothy punk kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's great. So let's see if I can afford him. And indeed I could. He was quite happy to do some art for me, and like got it done in like a week, which less than a week, like from the time I first sent him a message to the time I had a finished piece of art was less than a week. So that was crazy and really cool. I'm very happy with it. If you're on the Discord, I'm sure you've seen it. We'll be debuting the cover pretty soon. We need to put the title graphics together and everything like that for it, which is the next step along the line. And we're going to base the layout and the graphics on that original piece of artwork, which is something I like to do. You know, you can kind of do it the other way around, where you have a vision and you get the artist to kind of match the vision. But in this case, I told the artist, look, I only need some very basic things. Otherwise, just paint something really cool. And that's what we got. So we're going to go with that. And then we'll do the interior artwork. I've got some stuff already that'll work pretty well for that book. And I'm going to go get a few more pieces of stock art that I can include in it. And then we should be good to go with Night Magics. So I think you'll probably see that in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not 100% certain. Just depends on how long the layout takes. And we do have some other things going on, but it will be around pretty soon, and I think you folks will like it. It's pretty cool. All right, what other things are going on? Lots. We got Master Builder. That is the playtest name of the card game I'm putting together. So this is our first attempt to do a board game type game for SigTrent Games, and I'm pretty excited about it. Master Builder is just the playtest name. That's not what the actual game will be called. That's kind of what my playtest version of the game is called. The idea behind this game partly is you can reskin it with different themes. We held a poll over on the Discord to see what theme people were most interested in of the ones that I came up with. And it seems evil overlords plotting and creating dungeons was kind of the #1 theme. So I think that's what we're going to do. For that, I need to work on that theme to get it matched up with all the card concepts and the rule concepts and all that kind of thing. But in the meantime, I'll be testing all the game mechanics as Master Builder. So I've got the rule book written. I got the original rule book that the game is based on was around 6,000 words, and the Master Builder rulebook is only 2,000 words. I managed to make a lot of simplifications to the game, but I don't think it simplified the gameplay at all. It's just made it a lot easier to understand and to play faster. So that's the kind of thing I like to do. I love to take things, existing ideas, polish them, refine them, make them even better. So it's a game I always enjoyed called Glory to Rome. The rules are different, but it's heavily inspired by, and some of the card design is exactly the same. So very much inspired by Galore to Rome, but with new theming and new rules and new cards and a lot of different stuff to put it together and kind of tighten things up, as I see it, at any rate. So I found a really cool site for prototyping cards. So I did that, and I printed those out, and I ordered myself some stickers on Amazon and some blank cards, put those together, and now I have a playtest deck, and I even did our first playtesting game with a friend of mine from another game company. And he seemed to enjoy it. It wasn't his kind of game, as he said, but the rules flowed really well. And even without some of the supporting material that's supposed to come with the game, like playmats and stuff that kind of show you where to put your cards and how to arrange things, and have reminders for the rules, he was able to grasp it on the first try, and after a couple rounds of play, got in the swing of things, didn't really need instruction from me anymore. So that's a good sign. There were a couple points of confusion in how the game works that have always been part of that game that I wasn't quite able to massage out. There are many things that I took out of the original game in order to make it easier to understand and play. However, there was one element that I couldn't figure out how to change in a way to resolve that confusion. So we talked a little bit about techniques of game design that we could use in order to do that without actually changing the rules, but by changing the presentation somewhat. So hopefully that's something I can work out as we go. Yeah, it played really well. The new system for ending the game and scoring worked really well. I think it's kind of nice because it gives the players some control over when the game ends. Instead of a lot of games where certain conditions have to be met to end the game, in this case, players can kind of decide, I'm going to make a bid to try and win the game at this point. I have done a significant number of things, and I feel confident that I might be in first place, and so I'm going to try to bid to win. And then other players can interact with that bid, try to stop them. And you do have to sort of ante up a little bit, lower your score just a little bit in order to try and claim victory. So that way people don't do it just the moment they think they might have an edge. And there's also some hidden point conditions, so you're never 100% sure when you make one of these victory bids, but you should have a good feeling that you are ahead in the game if you want to try to do it. Anyway, that worked really well, so I thought that was pretty cool. We finished a game in a fairly short period of time, even though it was a teaching game. And one of the things I love about this card game is you spend very little time waiting for your turn to come around. Even we played with 2 players, which is especially quick, but even if you have a fairly large number of players, each individual action that you take is pretty quick to do. And although there are many choices, usually it'd be kind of obvious which 3 or 4 that you would think is best to pursue the position that you're in currently in the game. So it does go pretty quick, which I think is a great element of the play. Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to show you actual footage of playing Master Builder sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be going to my local game store, encouraging people to play. Anna and I are going to play. I'm going to find some more playtesters. And hopefully I'll be able to put together some playtest sets in such a way that other people can print them out if you want to be involved in playtesting. And if you have a group of friends, you can help playtest this game as well. I'm not in a real rush to get it out into production because I've got to learn a lot of things about printing, establish some relationships with different printers, figure out what kind of quantities I can print them in, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to take a while to do. So this game can be in playtesting for a good period of time while I get all that element together. But I will say it's going awfully fast. I got the rulebook done and the new cards done within a week and had a deck ready to playtest. So that was really cool, rapid development. I quite enjoyed it. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is something that you haven't heard before. This was formerly Anne's R&D project. It now has a name. So this project is called Hero Smart, and it is somewhat intentionally ambiguous as to whether it is Heroes Mart or Hero Smart. It is spelled Hero Smart. Anyway, this is Anne's R&D project, which sort of went far enough and fast enough that I was like, well, this is a thing we can actually do, which I wouldn't have imagined that we could do or do in such a fast process. I'm going to be very vague about this, but you'll see exactly what it is probably within a week or two. We just want to get the project to a certain stage where it kind of represents, I guess, a fully useful tool. Because right now it's just missing a couple of elements, but the way things are going, those will be available very soon. Now, this is also a project that even when it becomes available to everybody, it won't be completely finished. I'm not sure if it could ever really be finished. It's a very open-ended kind of a project. It's going to be free for everyone to use, so you don't need to pay anything to access HeroSmart and to use it. However, we will be starting a Ko-Fi, which is kind of like Patreon, sort of, except that you can make one-time donations or you can subscribe to it to support work on this project, because it definitely is a lot of work to put it together. It's not something I really want to charge people for a gate because I want everybody in the Everyday Heroes community to be able to access it, but it is something that would be helpful to get support on. And I don't usually like to do Patreons and things because my vision for the company isn't that I make monthly content for people on a subscription schedule. It's that we put out singular products that are just really good products and are cool game books or cool games that you might want to play. And they're kind of like one-time purchases and you get those games and that's that. But this is a project's kind of a service, so it makes more sense to have kind of ongoing support or to have people just make donations from time to time to support new features and work on the project. So I think it's kind of a perfect fit for that sort of funding model. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then, those funds will go to support HeroSmart, and HeroSmart will hopefully provide you with things that you find very useful. We'll see how that goes. All right. I hate being super vague, but I just don't want to share it until it's ready. I can actually show it to you, and you can go, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Oh, what else is going on? There's still more stuff. There is indeed. I've got a new contract, very likely. Haven't signed the deal yet, agreed to terms yet, but pretty 95.8% sure that this is a deal that we will do. It's a pretty sizable contract, so it's going to keep me busy for 3 or 4 months writing, at least. And probably a little bit longer on that, doing development work and refining it and everything. It'll be for another company. I'm not going to name the company. I'm not going to tell you what the project is yet. So it'll be a little bit like when I did the book for Kobold, the Merchant's book, Trade Secrets. I won't be able to talk about it. It'll be a secret for a while, but I will mention that I'm working on it and that it's going well, or, I'm really enjoying it, whatever it happens to be. So something to look forward to as a mystery ongoing. But it's really good news for the company because it should be a good sizable amount of money that will help SigTrent Games continue to put out products and to support me to eat food and have a roof over my head and all that good stuff. So that's really cool, and it doesn't involve working at a gift shop, which is nice. So with all these projects going on, with Hero Smart kind of becoming a main project, with Master Builder moving along incredibly quickly, with Night Magics moving along faster than expected, I did have to backburner some items that we've talked about in the past. The adventure for Shotgun Fantasy is kind of going to get shelved. The mini set of rules for Everyday Heroes to include in a standalone role-playing game is going to get shelved for the moment. None of these projects are going away. I'm just not going to be working on them in the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months, probably. Maybe we'll come back to the adventure once Night Magics is done, but I have a feeling the contract work that I'm going to have is going to occupy a lot of my writing time, and Master Builder and Hero Smart will occupy a lot of my logistics and organizational time, but we'll see what happens. If we get to a certain point, of course, maybe if you're interested in publishing something, there's a book you really want to make, and you're working on it, and we can help you with that, let me know. Contact us, and we can talk about what that might look like. All right. I wanted to remind you that we have cool stuff that you can buy. Shotgun Fantasy, Isekai Play, and Spellcasting for Everyday Heroes. If you haven't listened to one of these podcasts before, that's a really cool book that we just put out. It's got beautiful artwork. It's just really cool fantasy rules for Everyday Hero, as well as a complete guide to Isekai campaigns and storytelling. We've got hero sheets, which are our autofill PDF character sheets that are optimized for play. When you're playing Everyday Heroes, they're really cool. They automatically calculate your skill bonuses and some things like that. And they come in 2 formats, kind of a fantasy theme format and a modern theme format. And the fantasy ones are perfect for Shotgun Fantasy, and the normal ones are perfect for regular Everyday Heroes. So that's pretty cool. We've also got shadow markets and debatable actions available through LPJ on DriveThruRPG. I don't publish those myself, but I wrote those, and I get a share of the proceeds. So those are a good way to support the company as well. Shadow markets is kind of a cops and robbers, dark night market, drug-themed kind of a book. Has lots of illicit drugs for Everyday Heroes, and you can play a super cop, kind of like a tough action movie cop with maybe kind of a dark edge to them. Or you can play like a juicer that's hopped up on all kinds of crazy drugs and goes on a rampage. Of course, you can take those ideas and churn them anything you want, but it is kind of a dark book. Actually, it goes pretty well with Night Magics, which is coming out. They have some similar theming, and they're kind of like nightlife-themed books and supplements. Debatable actions is verbal combat for Everyday Heroes. Basically, if you have a big parliamentary debate scene that the characters are involved in, or if you want to play kind of a Law and Order type game and you're going to have some courtroom drama, Debatable Actions is a really kind of cool mechanical system for having a big verbal combat, essentially. So kind of a fun little expansion as well. Pretty niche, you only use it in certain scenarios, but maybe it'll also inspire you into different kinds of game mechanics for things that aren't strictly combat. That's pretty cool for that. All right, and one more reminder, I want to remind people we've got Discord. One of my notes to do is to get more people onto the Discord, just so that we can share things with the community that way and get more input from fans and stuff like that. I think we've got about 80 members or so, and I want to say 20, 30 people that come there regularly, and 5 to 10 people who post rather regularly. But we have some nice conversations on the Discord. I'm trying to keep it kind of low-key and chill, but it's fun. So I definitely recommend hanging out there if you like what we're doing and you want to support our further efforts. There's some Evil Genius game news I wanted to highlight this week. First of all, The Armory, which is a book that I worked on, and I have to say, one of the hardest books I've ever done. It was really a big challenge. It's like more than 700 arms and armor, all except for a few of the future ones based on the real world. And even those futuristic ones are kind of my extrapolations of cutting edge weapon technology and just sort of the way the corporate world works and how that might extrapolate into the future. Really mimicking the way that we wrote about the historical weapons and everything. Anyway, ton of work went into that project, and Kickstarter backers just got the first version of the PDF, which is really cool. Now, I wasn't 100% happy with the layout. It really wasn't the way I envisioned the book should be laid out. That doesn't mean it's a bad book. It's a cool book. It's still really neat. It's got a lot of great information. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. But I did volunteer to help clean up when things got moved out into tables. Some of the guns and other weapons had their stats kind of jumbled up a little bit. So I volunteered to go through the book unpaid and try to help sort some of that, because I just care about any of the products I make, no matter who I'm making them for, no matter what the deal is. When my name's on something, it means a lot to me that it be as good as it can be. So I wanted to do that. Definitely encourage you to look for the Armory if you don't already have it, and buy that book when it comes out. Evil Genius showed proofs of the version from the printer, and I have to say the cover looks gorgeous, looks really nice quality, very similar to the core rule book and the Vault. So if you like the way those books were printed, this one's going to look really cool. The illustrations in it are awesome. They're really good weapons illustrations based on real-world weapons, and then the future weapons are really kind of fun, and there's a couple of humorous, silly things in there. You may have seen the little rock guy that I posted. There's a rock with some googly eyes on it, just to represent rocks as a weapon, which is kind of silly, but when you got 700 weapons, you want to do something silly. And my wife asked me to put that in, so I put it in for her. Anyway, it's a really cool book, and there's just a lot of neat stuff. And really the idea is we have all these detailed weapons and statistics and histories so that your choice of weapon becomes kind of a part of your role-playing and identity of the character and all that kind of thing. So, and there's a bunch written in the book about that too. It's also got pretty detailed guides on how I did all the stats for all the weapons in the book, and how I see doing real-world type firearms through the lens of the Everyday Heroes rules and how that works, and classifications of ammunition, and all kinds of thoughts about game balance and game design. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's really quite a book. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. They also released something called Everyday Empires over on Sidekick only right now, and that's just kind of one of their monthly supplements. But I'm really interested in this one. The idea is that you are running an organization. Your characters, the party, is in charge of like a criminal organization or a mercenary company or even a business of some kind. And so it tracks the trials and tribulations of that business and its finances to an abstracted degree, so that your adventures are also in support of growing the company or the business or the organization that all the players are part of. And I think that's just a really cool way to run a campaign. And so it was an idea for a book I had, and it looks like Goober put it together. I haven't got to sit down and read through it, but I opened it up, I looked at the pictures, I looked at the outline, kind of see where he was going, and I thought it looked really cool. I was really interested in that, and I'd love to do a campaign kind of using that sort of stuff. So definitely recommend checking that one out. Nomad Ann on Twitch, still streaming every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The last few weekends, it's been creature battles in No Man's Sky, kind of a pseudo-Pokemon in space, I guess you might say. We just got Subnautica 2 today, which came out in early access. We played a little bit today, and probably going to play some more together. It's got co-op play, and so that's really cool. I loved Subnautica. Subnautica Below Zero was also pretty cool, although didn't feel as fresh as the original Subnautica for whatever reason, because the story just didn't grab me as much. But it was really still a very cool game. Subnautica 2 had a bunch of drama, apparently, as it was coming out between the publisher and the developer. But I'll tell you, I played about 3 or 4 hours, definitely scratches that Subnautica itch, and was really fun crafting, and I love the underwater exploration and the whole thing. Really good. So far, big thumbs up. I don't know what the limitations of the early access version are, but I would say it feels like a complete game playing it at the very beginning at a rate. Full story, it's very immersive, beautiful environment, you can explore around freely. It doesn't have a lot of things. Oh, sorry, you'll have to wait until the main game for this. It feels like a really complete, I'm guessing like first chapter, first area of exploration. So yeah, so far so good. Really cool. So probably play that until we run into whatever walls there are and experiment around with the building systems and stuff. And then, put it on the shelf until the full game is released and we can experience the full story from beginning to end, and then we'll play it again. And maybe playing that this weekend as well. I don't know, but she'll make that call when the time comes. All right. What have I been doing in gaming? My Galactic conquests continue in No Man's Sky. I'm still terribly addicted to that game. It's a wonderful, fun game. I definitely highly recommend it. I've been playing some Dungeons and Dragons. I guess on Sunday, was it? We played Ravenloft. Round 2. My character is cursed. I've got an evil dagger that makes my shadow detach and go murder other people's shadows, and makes me chant for ritual sacrifices. It's awesome. That's exactly what my character needs. He's sort of the Danzig Black Dragon sorcerer, heavy metal goth dude. So to be cursed like this and to have a cool shadow that murders people, that's actually like the best kind of curse. I'm very pleased. Also played a little bit of Transformers last Monday. We had a good time. We're doing kind of like D&D meets Transformers, and that it's the setting is Transformers, but we're using like old school D&D rules. And we're on Cybertron, and we're digging now into the depths of Cybertron in order to find a crash spaceship. And we've been dealing with robotic oozes and all kinds of traps and different things. Like I said, it's very much sort of a D&D dungeon crawl, but reimagined for Transformer robots. And it's really fun and very interesting, and just fun for all of us to kind of be creative as we play through it. I really like it. So that's it. That's what's going on in gaming for me. Oh yeah, I did beat a character in Slay the Spire last night. I think the second character I've gotten all the way up. I was just going to play a quick game, and it turned into a long game, and I got all the way to the top. So I felt very good about that. I haven't played a lot of Slay the Spire. I know it's an old game when I'm talking about this, but because Slay the Spire Take 2 came out in early access, and Anne got both of those, so I went ahead and got them as well, and it's one of those games that was on my list of games to get around to playing. It's quite good. It's fun. I like it. I don't know that it totally draws me in the way it does some people, but it's pretty good, especially if you just want to play a game for a couple hours, get kind of involved, and have a good time with it. All right, so I've been very busy. Like I said, things are going really fast in the world of gaming. I also have been doing some pretty long hours over at the gift shop, although concentrated on the weekends. So last weekend I did like 3 full days, like 8 to 9 hour days at the gift shop. Kind of beating up my health a little bit, I have to admit, like getting bruises on my ankles and stuff, kind of just from the sort of stress of doing it. And then it heals up over the week, and then I get back on the weekend. I don't know. It's okay. I'm really looking forward to when SigTrent Games gets to the point or where I have enough contracts where I don't necessarily have to do that work anymore. It's fine. It's good work, but I really like to do creative things more than I like to organize store inventory. It's okay. One day a week would actually be kind of fun to do that sort of work, or a couple half days a week, but 3 9-hour days in a row is a little hard at my age and my temperament. So anyway, but it's still lovely. I'm grateful for the job, grateful for my coworkers. They're nice folks, so that's all good. I'm just super excited about what's going on with SigTrent Games. I'm really excited about this card game, which I think has the potential to be something that could generate significant sales, more so than RPG stuff. My focus is still going to be on RPGs. I don't really want to be a board game designer, but I happen to love this particular card game and this card game design, so it's just a passion project for me. But if that opens up the doors to consult on other games and to work on games, that's really cool. And just having the ability to produce a board game or a card game, if I know I want to do one, or if I want to do those kind of materials as a supplement to a role-playing game, if we get into bigger Kickstarters and things like that, it's just really good for the company. So I'm very excited to be branching out in this way. And I'm really excited for you guys to check out what Hero Smart's all about. It's one of these things where, I don't know, it kind of amazed me. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Okay, let's actually try to do it. And I think you'll like it too. So until next time, good gaming to you all. Have fun, be kind, and enjoy life.